So there were some definite markings here.
Investigators in Jessamine County are trying to find a man who they believe is behind 4 burglaries, including one at a church.
A Southern Kentucky family says they feel like they are getting closer to justice after one man pleaded guilty in their loved one's murder. UK student-run newspaper is preparing for a legal fight with the university.
We found out that UK was going to sue us.
They're trying to raise money to fight that lawsuit.
WKYT News starts now with breaking news.
We are starting tonight with breaking news. I'm Kristen Kennedy. Kentucky State Police have found a missing Boyle County teenager in New Mexico. Investigators found 15-year-old Jenna Oakley in a Motel 6 parking lot in Tucumcari. They say Oakley was with 20-year-old Kenneth Nye. Family reported her missing Thursday after they found her stepmother dead in their home. New Mexico police found Oakley and Nye in a car that was reported as stolen. They arrested Nye and charged him with contributing to the delinquency of a minor. The coroner says the death of Oakley's stepmother, 52-year-old Rhonda Oakley, is a homicide, but troopers haven't yet said just how she died. We will post all updates that we get online at WKYT.com. 4 burglaries in 2 days. The Jessamine County Sheriff's Office is investigating break-ins at different businesses. They believe all 4 cases are connected. WKYT's Sean Moody takes a look at their surveillance photos in our top story at 6.
The pastor here at Crosswoods Baptist Church says this is the 4th time in about the past 10 years they've been broken into. He says he believes in forgiveness, but he also believes in consequences.
Pastor Stephen Bruce knew something wasn't quite right Friday morning when he walked through the hallway.
So there were some definite markings here. But
that part of the building's under construction. No one should have had access overnight.
They didn't match my shoes, which meant I knew somebody besides me had been through here. So
it turned out someone had stolen a sound mixing board and an amplifier.
Funny thing on that end, we got hit by lightning several months ago, and that was the board that got hit. And so there's about 4 or 5 channels that don't work on it. So.
And they weren't the only ones who had to deal with this over the weekend.
Yeah, the burglaries appear to be similar.
Sergeant Gerald Wheeler at the Jessamine County Sheriff's Office said 3 other businesses were burglarized over the weekend, too. Mead Concrete, Signature Landscaping, and Dixie Cafe were all hit. Now investigators are looking for the man on the right in this surveillance video.
Well, you know, being born and raised in Jessamine County, any kind of theft really hits home.
Pastor Bruce hopes investigators catch up with him.
There's consequences for the things you do. Choices you make, good or bad, there's a consequence. But there's also Jesus who loves you no matter what you do or how bad you mess up. If you trust in him, he can change you.
Now, investigators said in addition to that man in the surveillance video, they're also searching for a black passenger car he may have been in. In Jessamine County, Sean Moody, WKYT.
Deputies say all the burglaries were in the northwestern end of the county. The family of a Southern Kentucky man murdered more than 2 years ago says they are one step closer to justice. Someone shot Donald Mills in his Knox County home back in 2014. Friday, one of the people charged in connection to Mills' death pleaded guilty and agreed to testify against the others. Investigators originally charged Christopher Wagner with murder. They amended his charge to manslaughter and robbery and recommended a 15-year sentence. Mills' mother hopes the 4 others awaiting trial will also plead guilty.
They can deny all they want to. They have got the evidence. The detective has told us they have 95% evidence against them, and they need to tell the truth.
The trial for the other person facing a murder charge, Patrick Baker, is scheduled to start November 14th. Trials for Elijah Messi, Angela Mills, and Stephanie Smith are set for January. The owner of a Georgetown cemetery is facing theft charges. We've learned a Scott County grand jury indicted the owner of Crestlawn Cemetery on 1 count of theft by deception. Dale Shackelford is accused of stealing more than $15,000 from 6 people. The indictment states he got the money by creating the false impression that it would be used to buy headstones and grave plots. The charge carries a maximum penalty of 10 years in prison. Last month, the judge granted a default judgment to the State Attorney General's Office of Consumer Protection. He ordered Shackelford to provide the headstones or return the funds. A student-run newspaper is raising money to fight their university. The Kentucky Colonel is trying to raise $15,000. They need help paying for legal representation. The lawsuit they're involved in stems from the newspaper's request that UK release documents in a sexual assault and harassment case. The university denied their request. WKYT's Sabira Rayford talked to the paper's editor about the legal battle.
We at the Colonel are really willing to take this as far as the university wants to go.
It's been a long summer for the students working at the Kentucky Colonel.
It was really exciting that first day, and then we found out that UK was going to sue us for it.
This comes after the Kentucky Colonel appealed a denied opens records request to the Attorney General's office. The Attorney General's office ruled in the student paper's favor, but the university is fighting back.
This isn't just about, this one case. This is about everything that UK does, and this is about all of us holding them accountable, not just here in the newsroom at the Colonel, but all media outlets and everybody that wants to open full and open records requests.
In a news release, UK said they denied the opens records request to protect the identity of victims who report to the university, but their appeal has left the Colonel with some hefty legal bills.
We appreciate people sticking up with us, and feeling like they're a part of this as well.
Students all over campus have been reading about this issue for a while now in the Colonel, and some of them are even passionate enough to help out online. In just one day, this GoFundMe page has already reached more than $5,000.
Our goal is $15,000, and it's really exciting to know that there are people that are out there trying to support us.
The students at the newspaper say they hope this inspires other young journalists to fight for what they believe in. At the University of Kentucky, Sabira Rayford, WKYT.
In the past, the Colonel has received help from the Kentucky Press Association Legal Fund. We are experiencing another sunny and comfortable day in the bluegrass, and it looks like we'll get another chance to really enjoy the sunshine tomorrow. WKYT meteorologist Mike Linden is taking a look at a very nice Labor Day forecast.
Very nice might be underselling it. It has just been awesome here in the Commonwealth as the skies stay nice and sunny, temperatures run warm. It's exactly what you want for Labor Day weekend. We look at the live sky camera. Again, bright blue skies over Big Blue Nation and just a few little clouds out there. Nothing that has impacted us at all, but things are wonderful here in Kentucky. We look at the Defender Radar Network and you can see the cloud cover there, very thin, kind of cutting in through the Franklin County area and extending southward into Boyle County and Mercer counties. But again, no rainfall coming out of these. These are just very high clouds, nothing of which that will bring us any precipitation through the evening hours. As far as the winds go, still coming against the grain from the east blowing westward, but notice near Bowling Green we have some coming in from the south, and that is providing for some warm temperatures out there. Most spots right now into the mid 80s, a few spots a little bit warmer than that. Bowling Green at 89 degrees. But if you are wanting for this weather to stick around for at least one more day, it looks like Mother Nature has exactly what you want for your Labor Day. Coming up, I'll take you hour by hour and show you how great the next few days look.
The heavy rain and high winds predicted to hit parts of New York and New Jersey today are headed out to sea. The storm has been moving east since yesterday. There are still some lingering threats from Hermine. The storm could cause severe beach erosion. Workers in Belmar, New Jersey created sand beams this weekend to protect an area Hurricane Sandy hit back in 2012.
It could wobble back west or wobble further east. All those things will decide what impact it has, especially in our coastal areas.
So far, Hermine is blamed for the deaths of 2 people. The storm is expected to hang offshore through Wednesday. A busy Lexington road is back open. Crews had to shut down part of Tate's Creek for hours because of a crash. Lexington police say this morning a driver hit a utility pole near Tate's Creek and Garden Grove Walk near Alumni Drive. Crews had to close the road to replace the pole. They took the driver of the car to the hospital. This is your last chance to catch a movie at Cinemark's Woodhill location. The company is closing Cinemark Movies 10 off Codell Drive tomorrow. The owner of the theater, Cinemark Holdings, reported back in August revenue had dropped compared to last year. It's the second theater in a year to close in East Lexington. Movie Tavern off Richmond Road closed and relocated the Brandon Crossing. Still to come on WKYT, there are a lot of people out at the Kentucky Horse Park that aren't there to see the horses. Why hundreds are cheering today for man's best friend.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Mike Linden.
Sunday has definitely lived up to the name. It was certainly a sunny day out there today, and even though Monday doesn't have the word sun in it, looks like it should once again be a sunny one for us to start off the work week. We look at the Defender radar network, not seeing very much out there. There is some cloud cover you can see extending through Jefferson County into Franklin County and southward into Boyle and Mercer counties. Nothing that is bringing us any kind of precipitation. These are just your run-of-the-mill high clouds. Nothing that, again, will impact us moving forward here. High pressure still remains built up over the east coast, and that is continuing to keep us clear of the cloud cover and quite dry as well. Now, notice the winds still blowing from east to the west against the grain. Typically, you see the winds coming in from the other direction. It's a good reason why these temperatures are quite comfortable. Now, there is also something else going on. Look at the Bowling Green area. Winds beginning now to come in from the south. Notice that darker orange color. Temperatures are warmer over western Kentucky because that's where the warmest air is, to the south of us. And that is going to begin to take over as we get into the next few days here. But as far as your Labor Day Monday goes, if you've enjoyed this weekend, it looks like Part 3 to your weekend will be much like Part 1 and Part 2, a fantastic trilogy here for your Labor Day weekend, with temperatures once again expected to reach the mid to high 80s. A few spots might even sneak their way into the lower 90s, especially those spots in western Kentucky. Cloud cover still going to remain quite scattered, no real blanketing of clouds nor any kind of real threat of precipitation. Tuesday, though, is the day in which we begin to return to the summer mode, if you will. That's where the humidity begins to factor into the forecast, as well as the thicker clouds. Now, of course, temperatures will once again make a push at the upper 80s and low 90s as the winds begin to shift coming from the south rather than the east. And with that, a chance for some showers and potentially even some thunderstorms as we get into the next few days here. All in all, your chances for rain over the next week really begin to ramp up as we get into the second half of the upcoming work week. So your string of beautiful days look likely to come to an end as we get into Tuesday and into Wednesday. But of course, if you have plans to be outside for Labor Day, I mean, an awesome day, to say the least. The upper 80s, lots of sunshine, a little bit warmer for you, but all in all, it looks like a great day to spend some time outside here in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Again, Tuesday looks very similar to Labor Day, if not a little warmer and a bit more humid. You'll certainly feel the steam out there. But getting into Wednesday and Thursday, those are the days where you might not be able to barbecue outside. A chance for a few storms popping up in the forecast by that point, Kristen. So got to get outside and grill tomorrow while you can.
You still have some nice looking lows on there for Wednesday, Thursday.
That has certainly been a factor as well. I mean, falling into the upper 50s and low 60s, very comfortable way to start the day.
Thank you, Mike. Hundreds of four-legged athletes are in Lexington this weekend. They're competing in the Bluegrass Classic Dog Show at the Kentucky Horse Park. WKYT's Mike Byer talked to fans and families of the competitors.
Meet Chris.
He's an English Springer Spaniel.
Linda O'Connor Schneider is his owner-handler and is pretty proud right now. Chris competed for the first time yesterday at the Bluegrass Classic Dog Show, taking home Best in Show.
I just really enjoy my dogs. You know, win or lose, I'd still take the same ones home. I just love them.
All-Tech Arena at the Kentucky Horse Park is the site of this year's show, a show the Lexington Kennel Club started way back in the 1940s.
We're a nonprofit organization, and we put it back into the community, what profits we make to help better dogs as far as care is concerned.
Over 150 different dog breeds are participating in the 5-day event. Organizers say it's something all dog lovers need to experience.
If you want to buy things for your dog, we have vendors from all over the country. If you want to look at breeds that you've never seen before, this will be the place to do it.
One of the most exciting parts of the dog show is dock diving. The sport allows dogs to compete in jumping for distance from a dock into a pool of water. Story just turned 6 and is celebrating with a big splash. The Black Lab is the American Kennel Club's current dock diving champion and record holder.
It's a lot of fun. Any dog can do it.
J.D. McKnight is Story's owner and says he's pretty happy they decided to pursue it.
She's been on the Letterman Show. She's been on the Today Show last year, actually on her birthday. She's been in multiple Purina Incredible Dog Challenges also.
Dock diving resumes tomorrow morning. Tryouts start at 8 a.m. and any dog can sign up. At the Kentucky Horse Park, Mike Byer, WKYT.
My dog is one that would not do that. Organizers are in need of more volunteers for next year's show, and we have information on how to sign up at WKYT.com. Well, E.K. Howard's in next with sports with a very disappointed Mark Stoops.
You know, Kristen, I've seen Stoops disappointed after a loss, but I've never seen him apologize to the fan base until last night. What went wrong with the Wildcats in the second half? We will take a look back at a tough season opener next in sports.
I don't know if I'd ever, in my career, ever want to apologize for a game, but that's a tough pill to swallow right there, and I do. And I didn't think I'd ever do that. That's a tough loss, and our fans deserve better.
Mark Stoops apologizing to the fans following last night's season-opening loss to Southern Miss, but will the fans accept that apology? After scoring 35 first-half points, it appeared Kentucky was well on its way to the first win of the season, but the second half was a disaster, as Southern Miss scored 34 unanswered points while holding the Wildcats scoreless. Unfortunately, second-half collapses are nothing new for the program. Brian Milam saw it firsthand last night at Commonwealth.
In many ways, it was deja vu all over again. Last year against Louisiana Lafayette, against Louisville, getting big leads only to blow them in the second half. And in the second half, Kentucky's offense limited to just 14 total plays.
Wow, I didn't know it was only 14. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's really frustrating. You know, just wish I could have done more with the opportunities that we had. You know, like I said, I had 3 turnovers in the second half. I got to take care of the ball better. But yeah, it was really disappointing we only got that many opportunities in the second half.
That's the defense's job, to get off so they don't have as many plays, and we have to control the football and get some first downs. When it's spinning, you know, when the momentum's gone, that's where you have to play good on both sides of the ball. And you know, we obviously didn't do that.
For Shannon Dawson, it was a return to Commonwealth Stadium. And wow, did his offense of Southern Miss just take off late in the second quarter. They finished the game with 95 total plays and more than 30 first downs. Reporting from Commonwealth Stadium, I'm Brian Milam, WKYT.
Thank you, Brian. And to truly put this game in perspective, you have to look at the stats comparisons for Kentucky from the first half to the second half. All 35 of UK's points came in the first half. 387 total yards in the first half compared to just 56 after halftime. Passing yards, 277 to 36. The Wildcats had 1 5-yard penalty in the first half compared to 5 for 70 yards in the second half. Turnovers were costly in the second half, and total offensive plays, just 14 for the Wildcats after halftime. Truly a tale of two halves. Number 25, Florida did just enough to beat UMass 24-7 on Saturday night and extend the nation's longest winning streak in season openers to 27. Now they'll turn their attention to another streak. The Gators have won 29 straight in the series against Kentucky. That's the nation's longest active streak between any two opponents. It sure would do a lot for Kentucky's morale right now to end that streak against Florida. The game is Saturday afternoon at 3:30. You can see it right here on WKYT. Late last night, Alabama was rolling in its season opener with USC. The Tide were led in rushing by Madison Southern product Damian Harris. This is Harris's longest run of the night, a 73-yard burst in the third quarter, brought down just shy of the end zone. Harris finished with 138 yards rushing on 9 carries as Bama pounds USC 52-6. Well, the NFL season starts next week, but it won't for former Wildcat and Pittsburgh Steeler linebacker Bud Dupree. The Steelers placing Dupree on the injured reserve today after missing all of training camp with a groin injury. Dupree may not miss the season entirely. An NFL rule change this offseason allows teams to designate a player to return from injured reserve after 6 weeks. The player must miss 8 weeks total before being eligible to play. Some good news regarding a local product. A day after cutting former EKU tight end Matt Lingle, the Bengals have added him to their 10-man practice squad. Lingle spent all of last season on the practice squad in Cincinnati. Lingle played at EKU from 2010 to 2014. To the pitch, Kentucky women's soccer hosting High Point. Early first half, Zoe Swift centers the pass to Tanya Samarzic. And Samarzic puts Kentucky on the board 1-0. In the 41st minute, Swift with the ball once again, this time on the left side of the field. Another perfect pass, this time to Kaylee Vogel. She uses her head to score her first goal of the season. Wildcats were up by 2 at the half. Second half we go, Kentucky on the move, and it's Samardzic delivering once again. Off the pass from Gina Crossetti, second of the day for Samardzic, and High Point reaches a new low point, losing to Kentucky 3-0. That's a look at sports. We're back with more after this.
Tuesday night's McMillions jackpot is $101 million. Wednesday night's Powerball jackpot is $186 million. Looking at a good Labor Day.
A fantastic Labor Day, really. Much like how it has been the past several days. Nice and sunny for us. It should be a little warmer tomorrow, though. The upper 80s, potentially even low 90s for some spots.
Hope to see you right back here at 11 o'clock tonight.